Three things every skateboarder should know how to do. First one is how to land properly. We're going to use a depth jump. Stand on something tall, basically you're jumping off it and landing correctly with your joints aligned. So notice knees are in the same direction as my toes are pointing. That means you're not coming in here, boom, out. Two, as I land, you'll notice I'm balanced. I'm not hips high, back forwards. I'm not all the way forwards here. I have my weight roughly in the middle of my foot, more or less. I'm not letting my heels come off the ground. I'm not letting my toes come off the ground. I'm nice and balanced. I'm settled. I can hang out here for a while. I'm allowing my muscles to absorb the impact rather than my joints. So as you land a trick, boom, and ollie, your goal should be to land in that position, everything facing the same direction, shoulders facing the same direction as the hips, as the knees, everything is facing forwards, rather than some weird wonky landing like that. So you can practice with the depth jump. Again, just get something relatively high, walk or hop off it, and practice landing correctly. The second one is being relaxed in a full squat, like this. Notice my heels are flat on the ground, so are my toes, and I'm just relaxing. This indicates a normal full range of motion in my lower body. That's important because that's the health of your joints, it's their ability to move through full range. But more importantly, as skateboarders, this means that I can be comfortable down low, whether I'm landing, whether I'm popping and lifting off. And from an injury prevention standpoint, it means that I can tolerate more impact in this position. If I accidentally end up here, I'm okay because I'm used to spending some time here. Even better is if you're on one leg. And then if you can stand up from that, you're really increasing your chances of not getting hurt when something happens. So if I fall from, let's say, up here, and I fall straight to my butt, that's a lot worse than if I'm able to lower myself to the ground before falling. So instead of falling from, 3 feet up, I'm just falling from a few inches. So it's a lot less likely that I get hurt. Last one's the roll. For obvious reasons, it helps us disperse the time that we're under tension as we're falling. So forward roll, back roll. The essential part here is that you're not letting your head or your neck touch the ground. You're always rolling on your shoulder. I think you should be able to roll forwards and you should be able to roll backwards, ideally on either shoulder. I think it's important to be able to do them slowly so you're controlling your fall and you're aware of what's going on every step of the way. And I think you should learn to land with your feet before your knees. So what I mean by that is, let's say I back roll, I want my feet to touch the ground before my knees do. Really, so I don't just slam my knees into concrete. Also, rolling so that you can end up on your feet, whether it's going backwards or forwards, is going to allow you to spend more time transferring the energy into something more productive than just rolling and then slamming your feet on the ground. It helps you just get right back up. And the more slowly you can roll, the more control you have over it, which means you can soften your landing and you can adjust in the moment if you need to. Even going sideways, again, never letting the neck touch the ground. That's rolls. Alright, to tie it together, here's a clip that actually touches on all three of the things we talked about today, just so you can see how applicable this is. So right here, boom, you'll notice the landing. Even though the foot comes off the board, everything's pretty aligned. You have the hips that are facing forwards, the knees are facing forwards, the foot is more or less in line with the knee. So this is actually a good alignment on the landing. It just wasn't accurate with the foot. As the body's falling here, you'll notice he's still staying aligned and he's gonna rotate. Now, the hips are facing one way, the shoulders, the torso, everything's pointing one direction. So there's not a weird diagonal angle on the fall. This is gonna basically allow the skater to roll out of it or to do whatever else he needs to do to protect himself. Right here, so we're landing. You'll notice the right leg here starts to bend. So now the skater's totally in the air. The right leg has been trained to react in this way to this position. So here, we've got that pistol squat we talked about. That's already decelerating the fall. It's already absorbing the impact. Now, without the strength or the mobility to get to this position, this wouldn't be possible. So that's why the training comes into play. As we see that roll, we have all the nice parts of it where the head never touches the ground. It's all on the shoulder, right? The legs are kind of kicking horizontally. They're kicking behind him so that he can continue the roll and eventually land on his feet. The head is not touching the ground. It's all supported by the shoulder. So the neck, the head are not in any danger. The left arm is supporting that, continuing the roll, continuing to absorb the momentum. And then now, just right here, he doesn't have to go anywhere. He did a good job of absorbing everything, ending in this kind of solid base position. Again, everything aligned, everything facing forwards. So one more time, boom, alignment the whole time, no matter what direction he's facing, using that pistol squat, catching himself, and then continuing to roll to distribute the tension throughout and ending up unscathed and arguably looking cool.